how bad, just think about it in your head, how bad do things have to get before you do something? Do they have to be throwing you on cattle cars before you start to say, now wait a minute, I don't think this is a good idea? How long is it going to be before you finally resist and say, no, I will not comply? Period. That's a different answer for each person. Ask yourself now, because sooner or later you're going to come to that line. And when they cross it, you're going to say, well, okay, cross this line. Okay, now cross that line. Okay, now cross this line. And pretty soon you're in a corner. Sooner or later, you got to draw a line and stand your ground, whether anybody else does or not. That is what liberty is all about.
Callers. Today I'm going to talk about liberty, freedom, freedom of speech, and uh, and the right to be secure in your persons. A lot of us take lightly when it comes to our rights and constitutions. You know, our rights are very, very important. Like the speech I was just playing, it was for somebody that really knows the Constitution very well. And he was talking about when is the time we're going to say enough is enough. And the thing we're dealing with is the vaccination, where people are forced to take the vaccination to keep a job. A lot of people are running away from jobs because they don't want to take the vaccine, which is I agree. You don't have to be a job, to take the vaccine. This is the time now that you're gonna have to learn to be free by doing your own things. Reason that I'm talking about freedom, liberty, pursuit of happiness is because it's something that our creator gave it to us. They call unalienable right. We can give that to anybody. Life, the liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Because those rights are secure. It's very secure. Those rights are secure, and you cannot pass it on to anyone unless you pass on to your child, by the way of engaging in intercourse with somebody else, your partner, for instance. But we cannot lose ourselves, allow ourselves, people saying that you need to take a vaccination so we can keep a job. It can't happen like that. Earlier, I received a phone call from somebody as a nurse that she was asked, if she has 2 days to take the vaccination and or present an exemption. So I got a phone call. She'll be calling me very soon today for a friend of mine, brother Alvin, bro. And this thing of vaccination doesn't work for me. Doesn't work for me. I'm not going to be part of it. That's why I decided to leave my career of a mechanical engineer, engage more in law because I want to be free. I want to have the liberty to do the things I love to do. And I'm doing law as as a passion, something that I fall in love with, not because I wanted to fall in love with it, just because uh, uh, situation of life took me to be able to engage um, with law. Now that I know the value of it, I'm taking advantage of it. But I'm doing what God's asked me to do as well, uh, which is help others. And I'm helping others because it's a duty that was assigned to me when I put the goggles. Once you put the goggles and you can see things in a different perspective, you can take them off. It is with me. I'ma do it. I'ma do it. Everybody needs to understand that you have unalienable rights, and those rights are secure in in the Bill of Rights. The 10th First Amendment in the Bill of Rights is your right. You cannot give away to anybody. You can't pass on. Whoever wants your rights, you know, have to bend you to a point where you're gonna give away your rights. But you cannot give away your rights because it's yours. It was passed on to you by Almighty God, the Almighty God, the creator of all things, the universe. The universe gave that to you, and you need to protect that. That's what a sister is doing in New York, fighting for her kids. I'm guiding her to fight. I'm showing her how to fight. I'm literally showing her that she cannot allow people to come into her life and take her rights away. She needs to fight. Die hard, but you keep fighting. Somebody's coming to take your right away for no reason, without any whatsoever, without any court order. We allow people to come in and take our rights without any court order. They feel like they own us. They can do whatever you want. How about if I tell you that the police officer, when he engage with you, he's doing everything as a private citizen? Yes. When the police officer is engaged with you, he's engaged with you as a private citizen. He's not engaging with you as officer. And he has no constitutional rights because it's said that. So he cannot deprive you of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Once he does that, it's your right to file a complaint against him. Yes. And if you file a complaint against him and he have not followed any procedures that is required by him at work, you can have him fired. And but to do that, you have to file a complaint. Without a complaint, there's no case. When he comes to your right, you have to fight back. Fight back. If you fight back, they will respect you. This comes to vaccination too. You cannot allow people to tell you have to take a vaccine. We were born without vaccination. These people create a method just to give a vaccine to people, and people have to accept it. And they did this they planned this for years to give us vaccination and make to submit ourselves to their wills. It's not going to happen to me because I'm not going to allow that from happening. You guys shouldn't too as well. Nobody's supposed to allow that to happen to you or to your kids. Fight back. We're going to have to fight back because we have life. We have liberty, freedom, and pursue happiness. You might not believe it, but you do. And when you write a complaint against any police officer, they will listen to you. They will listen to you. That's why it's important for you to know what rights are yours. What is enable rights? Do I have enable rights? Unalienable rights. Unalienable and unalienable rights. Two different words, almost meaning the same thing. Don't allow somebody to trigger you to give up your rights. Doesn't work like that. Can't allow that to happen and people come in and take your rights. I'm gonna start I'm gonna read a part of one of the organic laws that was the very first one, and it's very clear what it says. You know, they cannot trespass that because it's a common law. You know, Magna Carta, 1250 Magna Carta, Article 36. Nothing in the future shall be given or taken for outright of inquisition of life or limbos, but freely it shall be granted and never denied. Remember, everything I'm teaching on this station, still present, still alive today. It's your responsibility to defend that. You have to defend your life with all you got. I know they come and threaten you with the arms and everything, but we have weapons to do that, and I'm learning to use that. I'm using the weapons I know to help the sisters in New York. I'm helping the weapons that I have with me to help the people here in Texas. You have to show these people that you're willing to fight for your right. I'm going to read the Declaration of Independence of July 4th, 1776. It states as follows. We hold this truth to be self-evidence, that all men are created equal. They are endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights. That among these are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. And that to secure these rights, government are instituted among people, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governor. So, listen, they saying that we are the just power because the right comes from us. We empower the government. We empower the government. And the government cannot outsmart us or go against our will. We have to fight it back. We have to fight back. We have to fight back. But we don't have to fight back with weapon. We fight back with paper, pen and paper. That's what they're using, pen and paper. We have to fight back by using that. We have to do that. Pen and paper is where you start your revolution. Even when they take you to court, that's when you start your revolution. And the revolution is important because you're going to use only pen and paper. I'm going to read now a code that is really is on Texas law. Is a government code, section 552.001. States as follows. Section 552.001, policy in construction. Under the fundamental philosophy of the American Constitution, form of a representative government that adheres to the principle that the government is the servant and not the master of the people. It is the policy of this state that each person is entitled, unless otherwise expressly provided by law, at all times to complete information about the affairs of the government, and that the official acts of the public officials and employees. The people in the delegating authority do not have to give public servants the right to decide what is good for the people to know and what is not good for the people for them to know. The people insisting on remain informed that they may retain control of the instruments that they have created. The provision of this chapter shall be liberally construed to imply that these policies, A, this chapter shall be liberally construed in favor to guarantee the request for information. Come on. They got law saying that. They have law saying that. When they engage in obstruction of justice, fraud, cover up, and collusion to issue forged warrant check, to defraud the United States Treasury, to engage in tax evasion and security fraud, we have the right to speak up. And that's the same as going on with the vaccine. Obstruction of justice, cover up, fraud. We have to speak up. Those vaccines cannot stop one person, and will not stop 10, it will not stop 20 when we go out together and we will write back to the Congress, to the state Congress, and ask questions. That's the best way you can fight it because they have to file that on the record. I am a great supporter to help people. And when it comes to vaccination, you have to respond back when they force you to do it. Don't take it. Don't take it because once you take it, you're going to become a property of the United States. No joke what I'm saying. And they saying because you don't even change your status. So The Supreme Court has decided on that. They have a case in regards to that. I'll try to find it and to speak more about it because I don't remember where the case is. I really don't remember. It probably might be in one of my flash drives and stuff, but I'll look for it. Article for Confederation doesn't mention about life, but it mentions something very important. It talks about something very important. And this is on Article 9. I'm going first read Article 2 of the Article of Confederation. It states as follows. Each state retains his sovereignty, freedom, independence, and every power, jurisdiction, and right which is not by this confederation expressly delegated to the United States in Congress assemble. I'm going to repeat again what the Article of Confederation says, Article 2. Each state retain his sovereignty, freedom, independence, and every power, jurisdiction, and right which is not by this confederation expressly delegated to the United States in Congress assemble. What they're trying to tell you here, or not trying, but what they're saying in this document, which is no abrogated or ever can be, because it's a perpetual contract between, is a perpetual union between different states. They saying that each state still be sovereign, still have his freedom, still have his independence, and every power, jurisdiction, and right which is not delegated by this confederation expressly delegated to the United States in Congress Assembly still retain to these people. So, which means that if it was not delegated, especially delegated to the United States, is not in the United States jurisdiction. Let's go to Article 9. I'm going to read the second paragraph on Article 9, the last sentence. The last sentence. Well, and truly to hear and determine the matter in question according to the best of his judgment without favor, affection, or hope of our reward. Provide also that no state shall be deprived of territory for the benefit of the United States. I'm taking you this somewhere on the vice nation. You still have the power to say something using this Article of Confederation. I know they won't get it, but these documents still alive today. They cannot come after you. They cannot. You still have the right to fight back. You know, you still have the right to fight back. You can protect your rights. It's a document on the Texas Capitol, and it's very important because it's the House concurrent resolution. It was written long ago, where they say that I'm not going to read it in its entirety, but I'm going to read bits of it, of this document, because it's very important that I pass on what's really going on. Miko, I'm gonna send you a link. I want you to pass to everybody on the Discord.
Okay.
And the reason that I'm talking about this document, if it doesn't open, just let me know about it. It's gonna open. I want everybody to go to the 6th paragraph, where it says, whereas the 10th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States reads as follows: the powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited to the states, are reserved to the state respectively and to the people. I just read this on the Article of Confederation. And then the next paragraph says the 10th Amendment defined the total scope of the federal powers as being that specifically granted by the Constitution of the United States and no more. The next paragraph says the scope of a power defined by the 10th Amendment means that the federal government was created by the states specifically to be agent of the state. What they're trying to say here, the said state of Texas is an agent of the federal government. Nothing more, nothing less. And the reason that I'm mentioning that is that the Article of Confederation, Article 9, specifically says no state shall be deprived of territory for the benefit of the United States. So how will they coming and make you comply and take a vaccination if you still standing on a sovereign state called New Hampshire Republic, Massachusetts Bay, Rhode Island Republic, Providence Plantation Republic, Connecticut Republic, New York Republic, New Jersey Republic, Pennsylvania Republic, Delaware Republic, Maryland Republic, Virginia Republic, North Carolina Republic, South Carolina Republic, and Georgia Republic. And if you go look the 13 colony map, they were all close to the sea, to the Atlantic Sea. We have to understand that we still sovereign republics. The state of is just an agent of the United States. And this go back to the same document, HR 81R, HR 50. The next page, it says today, the next sentence, it says today in 2009, the states had demonstrably treated as agent of the federal government. I read that. The next sentence says, whereas many federal laws are directly in violation of the 10th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States. And whereas the 10th Amendment showed that we the people of the United States of America, they don't say United States, but they say United States of America. And each sovereign state in the Union of States now have and have always had rights the federal government may not usurp. They are usurping your right because they want you to comply, like they do in the city in New York for their kids. You have to comply. And the sister said, I'm not complying because I'm telling her to say that. And I told the sister, all the orders they're giving it to you is not on the record. They're lying to you. I swear for my life, all the judicial system have been forging documents for years. Even the ones they have on their computer is forged because they need to have with them. They need to have with them a warrant signed by the clerk, which goes to the end of the judge. The judge provides it, and then is filed on a record. Then is given to the sheriff to come and execute. But they have created an outside database to enforce that. Because the fourth, which is a violation of the Fourth Amendment. The Fourth Amendment says the right of the people to be secure in their person, houses, and paper in effect against unreasonable search and seizure shall not be violated. And no warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause. Every warrant, just because you didn't show up at court because of a goddamn ticket, is forged. That warrant issue is forged. It's a security fraud that involved the Security Exchange Commission, Criminal Division. File a complaint because it's a check that they draw from the Treasury. It's a check they draw from the State Treasury and into the United States Treasury, Department of Treasury, which involved the Secret Service now to go in and do a research, do an investigation about that. Vaccination is against your religious belief. You have the inalienable right to defend your right. It's within your right to say to defend your right. It's within your power to do that. Do we have any question?
It doesn't look like we have any questions in the chat so far.
Okay. Do you have any?
Not right now. No, I don't.
Okay. Everything I'm saying here, it might not make sense today. It might not make sense today. It might not make sense today. But sooner or later, it's going to make sense. Sooner or later, it's going to make sense. And you must be ready to defend that with every bit of strength you have. The Constitution of the Republic of Texas, 1836, right on the Declaration, right on the preamble of the Declaration, says as follows. Declaration of Rights. It is declared to be part of this Constitution and shall never be violated on any pretense whatever. And in order to guard against any transgression of the higher powers, which we have delegated, we declare that everything in this Bill of Rights contain, and every other right not here be delegated is reserved to the people. Remember, I'm reading from their documents. Everything not delegated to them is reserved to you. And what is not delegated to them is power. And that power remains into our veins. Every police officer, every sheriff, every constable is deputized, but he has somebody on top of him. Internal affairs. If the internal affairs don't work, you write a criminal complaint and you serve the United States Attorney General, the United States of your Attorney General of your state, of your republic, the FBI field office of your state, the United States Department of Justice, Criminal Division, the United States Judge Advocate from Department of Defense, the Supreme Court of your state, the Administrative Court of your state and the federal state. Send it to them. They are enforce you for you to take a vaccination because you need to comply. But do we know the word? What is the definition of the word comply? For someone to come over after you and say you must comply. I'm just asking. Do we know that word? You must comply. You must comply. According to the Webster Dictionary, comply with or held to deliver or act according to, as to conform to the fashion or to custom, to comply with, to obey, as to conform to the laws of the state. Comply, definition of comply, Merriam Dictionary, to conform, submit, or adapt as to regulation or to another's wish, as required or request. To be ceremoniously courteous. I mean, like, we don't have to do that. Comply. If you don't comply, we're gonna fire you. What's happening is people won't comply. People won't comply. A lot of people's gonna leave their job. Mainly the nurses, the truck drivers, because the corporation belongs to them, and we have to be bound to them. Chevron belongs to them. Exxon belongs to them. Marathon belongs to them. Houston Memorial Hospital belongs to them. San Joseph Hospital belongs to them. We haven't built anything. We haven't built anything. Because we want their money. I mean, like, we're in bad shape. They're gonna force us to take a vaccination to keep your job. Because you need to pay the light bill, you need to pay the house note, you know. Is that right to do that? Do we deserve that? So someone comes in and say, hey, we have COVID. Everybody just fall for it. It's COVID. You guys gotta stay home for 6 months or more. Everybody was at home. nobody producing anything, nobody doing anything. Now they come with the idea you have to take COVID because some people simulated that they sick on COVID because they didn't want to stay off from jobs. Now we are in a predicament where we have to give our rights for the sake of a goddamn job, for the sake of vaccination to keep a job. I mean, seriously. By what authority? What authority are they using to enforce this vaccination on you? I used to have a lot of issue at work with co-workers because they're saying you need to wear a mask. I wouldn't. I got a lot of write up. I did. I'm not gonna lie to you guys because I wouldn't comply with them. I'm a grown ass man. Someone to come in and say you have to comply. Who the are you to tell me I have to comply? Guts and balls you have to come to me and say that I have to comply. Comply with what? Vaccination? No, we don't comply. I will not comply with you. I'll quit. I'll find something else to do. I'll find something else to do. Seriously, I'll find something else. Because we have the Constitution. People needs to stand up. The Constitution is the last constraint that somebody has to come in and destroy that. I'll fight for it. Now that I know the power of that document, I'll fight for it. We cannot give away our unalienable rights. We can't. We cannot allow nobody to come in and take what belongs to us or belongs to our kids. Unalienable rights. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
I'm so sorry. Uh, Someone is asking, is it, good to have a foreign EIN? That's the question that was in the chat.
Yes. Okay. The foreign EIN number, once you get it, it's like you create your own republic. When you create your trust, you create your own republic. And I'm gonna take you guys there quickly. When you create a declaration of trust, is the same you create a declaration of independence. You declare yourself to be independent. That's why you create a declaration of trust using a foreign number. Believe me, once you have the foreign number, you're free. All you have to follow is doing all you're gonna do the declaration of trust. Then you're gonna find who your trustee is gonna be, who's your beneficiary is gonna be, and your beneficiary is gonna be your kids. Your kids has to be your beneficiary. What else? And then you have to find a trust protector. Trust protector can be you. Trust protector can be you. And what else? And you just file it in case, yeah. You can do a revocable and revocable because the foreign EIN number has a foreign address. It's not in the jurisdiction of the United States, so it's good to have it. It's very good. I have 4 foreign trusts. I have Olivera Allah Trust. I have Oliver L. Allah Express Trust, and I have Kevin Kevin Mar, which is me, Eden, and Kavungo, which are my kids. That's a family trust. And then I have my own my property, my own name property, my property, which is Olivera, Florida, Marlon Express Trust. I just created not long ago. So those are my foreign trusts. So yes, indeed, I have a foreign trust, and I'm transfer everything to a foreign trust, so I can operate a foreign trust. And the trust also can give you a nationality. You can go to court and request your nationality to the trust, and the judge have to give it to you because you cannot it cannot use by laws of the United States anymore. Any question?
Yes, there is a question. The question is it okay to give our authenticated birth certificate when we apply for travel documents, or should we protect giving out our BC number and not show it?
Well, it depends. If you have two at home, I request always somebody to have two birth certificate. You request two birth certificate, you authenticated one, and keep one just for those cases that you requested, like we apply for travel documents. But when you apply for your passport, I would rather for you to give them the authenticated form. It's gonna come back to you, and no matter what, they're gonna send it to you. Any other question?
Not right now.
Yeah. Now, because the vaccination is unconstitutional, and if you take it under your own will, free will. Nobody's forcing you. And when you do that, you become a property of the United States. I'm gonna find a court case, and we'll find a court case. I don't know where it is, but I'm gonna find it because I'm very sure I print screen right that court case. Like I was about to say, you you're taking the vaccination on free will. If anything that happens to you, it is your own responsibility. It is your own responsibility. And that's why you want to have a trust in place, a foreign trust, so you can become a property of the trust. You operate on the trust. And your trust also can issue subpoenas, can issue a lot of things. You make what you tell what your trust is gonna say. If you look in the Constitution, I'm gonna take you to the Texas Constitution. I'm gonna go back to the Judicial Department on the Republic of Texas Constitution. Uh, go back. Let me go back to Declaration of Independence to Declaration of Rights. Don't have here. Certain constitutions, the Constitution of the Book of Texas is not giving me that option. I have to look more and see what it is. But certain constitution, like the Constitution of the United States, have a clause that says that the writ of habeas corpus shall be issued and cannot be denied. That's what you can tell your trust to do too as well. You know, you can tell out your trust to do that, and that's what I did to my trust. Go ahead.
There's a couple questions in the chat. One being, how do you think we should go about writing a religious exemption?
Okay, I'm gonna read mine. Okay, I'll read
Okay.
mine.
And then there's another question from the same person asking,
Hmm.
what are the proper codes, article, and wording from the Bible we should utilize. And then there's someone in the chat trying to come in, so I'll let you answer that question,
Go
and
ahead.
then we'll
Yeah,
bring Brian in.
go ahead.
Actually, Brian just dropped off, so no, go ahead and answer that question if you don't mind. And I think Brian just kind of dropped off, so we'll see if Brian tries to come back in.
Okay. I'll send you a link.
Did you want me to repeat the question? Okay.
No, hold on. I'll send you a link. And go ahead. You got it, the link? I'll send it to you. I've shown that in the beginning, correct?
Pardon me?
The link. Did you got it?
I did. I'm actually dropping it now.
Your religious beliefs is protected by the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. And the Bible talks about marks on the body. So you have to use that argument to be able to win. Leviticus 19:28, you shall not make any cuts on your body for the dead or tattoo yourself. I'm the Lord. 1 Corinthians 6:19-20. Or do you not know that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You have not your own. For you were bought with a price, so glorify God in your body. You have an argument right there to use it. 1 Timothy 2:9. Likewise, also, that women should adorn themselves in inseparable apparel with the modesty and self-control, not with bright hair and gold or spear of costlier tears. Please, I'm not discussing anybody religious belief. I was asked a question and I'm bringing forth what can help when you write your affidavit. So when you write your affidavit of religious exemption, you can use Public Law 97-280, 97 Congress. So you can say, pursuant to the 1611 Bible, King James, you go back to 1 Corinthians 6:19-20. Or do you know your body? You put the verse. And you said that this is secured by the Public Law 97-20 because they talk about the Bible. So that link that this public law, which is a statute, not a 96 statute, was used, is your right to use to defend yourself. Because the vaccine is a mark, so the Bible says you cannot mark your body. Because 1 Corinthians 3:16-17 says, do you know that you are God's temple and that God's spirit dwells in you, if anyone destroy God's temple, God will destroy him. For God's temple is holy and you are the temple. So you can use this to defend yourself. So, but if you want an affidavit from me because I've written one, you might like it. I don't know. You know, I can sell it to you. Then you have the codes 18 USC 12 242. And then you have the 1866 Civil Rights Section 2. You can use that in your affidavit too. So you can get away from the vaccination, you know. So that's will help you write a religion exemptions. I wrote one. Someone contacted me on Saturday. He just contacted me a minute ago as well because I sold him one because he needed. So I sold him the form so he can use it because you can be forced to do something you don't want to. You don't have to comply to anybody. You know, you can humbly without offending anybody says I decline your compliance. That's it. You know, compliance is not law. They have takes that away from everything that we don't supposed to do. So we need to fight back. So any other question?
Yes, let me take the person that has just come into the stream, and then I'll ask the questions that are in the chat.
No
So
problem.
there is a person named Sue in the queue waiting. I'm going to add them now. Hey Sue, are you available? Are you there?
I have nothing on my calendar, if that's what you're asking.
Sorry, that was my laptop. Sue, are you available?
That's
You know,
wonderful.
they're listening.
They do. They do. They've
Yeah, they're
been doing.
listening.
NSA been doing that for years. That's the
Oh
only
yeah,
way
absolutely.
they will be. That's the only way they are gonna be able to replace the old guard to the new guard.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once again, one more time, are you available, Sue? Are you in for a question, or do you have a question, rather? Okay, so we're gonna move on to the folks in the chat then. And you did answer Ruthie about the
She can contact me. She can contact me, and I'll help her of how she go about sending the um those religious affidavit because it's
she says
important
that
people that.
I'm sorry. She says that she has the affidavit, but she's hearing from some people that we need to write a 6-page letter that is personalized, that they're
No,
using
no,
a
no,
tool
no,
for
no, no.
plagiarism to deny. She's saying that they're using a tool for plagiarism to deny. Well, you could always use Grammarly and then, and then it'll actually, there's a tab that will show where on the internet that particular piece is. You can just,
How's it the documents gonna be plagiarized? You just change it in your
I
own
don't know.
way. You just change it in your own way. You're like change and apply to you. Change the name, you know. Change the name is gonna apply to you. And would you have another question?
Okay, and then there is a question that is, um, can an employer require you to take a weekly COVID test if you refuse to take the vaccine?
Yeah, they can.
Good question.
You can find somebody to, I'll be honest, man. I'll find somebody that can make a report, a vaccination test saying I got the test. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'll find somebody. I'll find somebody. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, the employer can require you to take multiple tests, but you can find somebody that can do the test for you. They're gonna send it to you the test instead in PDF. You can work with that PDF file. I'm not gonna say much because I don't want you to go falsify documents. I'm not gonna say the record, then they're gonna hold me liable for it. But yeah, you can work that. Request them to send you the results by PDF file on the mail. Then you holler at me. We're gonna do some work on that. I'm gonna help you out. You contact me, I'll give you guidance how you can change that PDF file to suit your case that you have seen already. Yeah. Any other question?
Is the affidavit in, did you send that affidavit in, have I sent that? I mean, I know that I've sent the affidavit, but someone's asking about it now, so I wanted to just make sure this person has what they need. Also, there's a person named Sue asking, how does she exempt her mother from taking the vaccine in Trinidad? And she's actually in the process of filing for her green card.
Her mother's in
Sue,
Trinidad?
Yes. Sue seems to be in the queue waiting. I tried to add her to the stream, but I don't know.
Bring her
Sue, if you're
in. Bring her
there,
in.
I
Bring her in.
actually tried, but she's
Yeah,
not responding. So,
her
but she's
concern.
posing her question in the chat, so we can just go off her
She
question.
probably doesn't know how to manage
Yeah.
She probably doesn't know how to manage the queue or how to come in. I don't know. You guys know this better than me. She sent a letter to the embassy. If her mother's in Trinidad and she's gonna apply for a green card, inside the consulate there's always a shipper station and the ambassador and the consular. But she needs to write a letter to the ambassador. She needs to find out who's the ambassador. Just Google his ass up on Google. I'm sorry, my language. Google him on Google him, the ambassador, and then once you find the name, you send him a letter. Attached, you send your exemption for vaccination for your mom. And then you send to your mom. Your mom signs this to you. You notarize here, but you send to your mom. Your mom signs it. And then your mama takes to the embassy to the ambassador with a letter.
So I just added. It looks like Sue is popping back up in the stream. Sue, are you there?
Hello.
Hi. How are
Hey,
you?
Sue.
Hi. I don't know how to work this thing. It's the first time.
We figure.
Okay, you did great. You did great. You did
You
great.
did
You're
great.
here. We hear you.
Okay.
Welcome back. Welcome to the group.
Thank you.
No problem.
I didn't hear everything you said, but
Okay, that's the way it works.
Okay.
I'll explain to you quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Foreign jurisdiction, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This involves the Article of Confederation, which the United States is outside of each state. Is a small corporation. But in order for your document, because your mom is in Trinidad and you're trying to have an exemption for your mother, what you're gonna do is you're gonna send a letter to the ambassador. and the ambassador will receive your letter with the exemption of vaccination. You got it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Just I just type a letter.
Yeah, you type a letter. If you want, I can sell mine. I don't mind you to sell mine.
How do I contact you?
My name is right there on
the chat.
on Discord.
Okay.
My email is there too as well. Lamiko is a good person to give you my email.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a shift station and he's gonna pass the word to those guys inside the embassy.
Okay.
Because you live in the state jurisdiction to go on a foreign jurisdiction, which is the United States Embassy. But send the documents to your mom and your mama take to the embassy.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. You can find a letter I don't know if I still have the template for the letter for you to send to the ambassador.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can I think I have it because I helped somebody with a letter so he can get his visa back because they were denying him.
Okay.
So he wrote called me and said if I can send him a letter. So I sent him a letter. They gave him a visa.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a very simple thing. Because your mother's you're doing a green card for your mother, correct?
Right.
Yeah. Because you're doing the green card for your mother. Are you an American?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, naturalized.
You're an American. Because if you read your naturalization, it talks about the United States. So you've been accepted in the United States and also in the United States of America. It's right there on top of it. I believe if you read it, it's gonna be. Hold on, let me see if I can see here. It's gonna be. Being none that pursuant to the an application filed with the Secretary of the Homeland Security at Houston, Texas, the Secretary having found the Rivera Foreigner Marlon residing in Houston, Texas, having complied with all respect with all applicable provision of the naturalization law of the United States, one jurisdiction, being entitled to be admitted as a citizen of the United States, one jurisdiction still, having taken the oath of allegiance at the ceremony conducted by the United States District Court of Houston, Southern Texas, Texas, on July 22, 2015. But now he's going to change the language here. Such a person is admitted as a citizen of the United States of America. If you look right there on your certificate of naturalization, the very last sentence it says that you are admitted as a citizen of the United States of America, and you comply with all provision of the United States. So you were admitted as a United States citizen, and you also admitted as a citizen of the United States of America.
Okay.
So you have dual citizenship, one in the United States and the other one in the United States of America under the 13 colonies.
Oh, okay.
Didn't
know that one.
Huh?
Didn't know that one.
No, I had to pay attention one time when I was reading.
Yeah.
And that's what created also a curiosity because when you do when you go for the interview for the green card, they give you 100 questions to study, correct?
Yes.
So on 100 questions they give you to study, let me see. I see the questionnaire for. Let me see if I'm gonna find it. They give those questions for you to respond on a data interview, correct?
Yeah.
So let me see, 100 questions. I still remember 100 questions for green card. I think I have here. I'm gonna find it because I remember they gave me those questions. No, because I used to read those questions offshore all the time.
Okay.
So that's why I know because that was my thing. And because my supervisor used to ask me those questions all the time. It's on Google. Let me see. Google is the better one. So they ask those questions all the time. So it's right there because they talk about the 13 colonies. For some reason, that question's still in my mind because what's at the how many stripe has the flag? Because they used to say that all the time, you know. And okay, I think it's right here. Sample questions. Hold on just a second. No, not this one. Okay, they're called civical questions. Let me see if it's right here. Okay, it's right here. Question 64. Remember, this is the way they stated, okay?
Mm-hmm.
They were 13 original state. Name 3.
Yeah, I think I do remember that.
So they say they were, but they still exist because they still
Mm-hmm.
name it, which is now New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. So that question didn't go away. You
Mm-hmm.
still have it.
Yeah.
You know, you still have it right there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, use the embassy to send your mom a paperwork.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I can email you. You're gonna remember?
Oh yeah. Once you say what was the reason, yeah, I'll remember.
Okay. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
No problem.
Okay.
Any other question?
Yeah, someone is asking, would they be able to email to purchase affidavit?
Oh yeah, they can. They can. Any other question? Let me know you don't have questions and stuff.
Hey, I think 19 Keys is gonna join us. I'm actually trying to send him the link now. I think he may have a question. I'm not sure. He may or may not. Okay, and Omar is hoping to get in. So let's see if Omar has a question. Actually, 19 Keys is, let me just add 19 Keys really quickly, Omar. Just one sec. Brother Keys, are you there?
I am here.
How you
Welcome to
doing?
join us. How you doing?
I'm blessed. Just got to Oakland, just got settled. Wanted to just sit in for a second. and listen to the topic at hand.
Okay, so we have Omar in the queue. And so Marlon, well, actually,
Go ahead. Yeah, go
Marlon,
ahead. Mhm.
he actually just dropped out. Omar, if you are still wanting to pose a question, pop back in, um, and we can get your question answered. Okay, Omar, you are in. Can you hear us? Okay.
Yeah, hello.
Okay. Yes, you are in the stream.
How you doing, Marlon?
I'm doing fine, Omar. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I don't know if you remember me from the other day. I had emailed you about a friend of mine that I wanted to help get a
Yeah,
foreign driver's license.
I know what you. Yeah, I know. Hmm.
Yeah, so you had told me that this person should apply, so should first apply for a driver's permit, and
Yeah.
that you'll be taking it from there. And
Hmm.
I was gonna go to the DMV with them the next day, but she turns 18 in 2 days, so I wanted to wait instead and do some research meanwhile.
That's a great time because by the time she's turning 18, she'll be driving permit doesn't mean that she's gonna be driving right away. She just needs to apply for it. Then I can switch that and change that to a different database. That's all.
Okay, so just go straight down there and apply.
Yeah, just right there. Yeah, apply for the driving permit. That's what I used to get my international driver license. I stopped using the Texas driver license 10 years ago. We probably going to 12 years now. Never renew it. Don't care about it. It's just don't mess with it.
Does it
If
have to
I
be a DMV that she resides in, or can it be anyone in the state?
anywhere, any state,
Oh, okay, okay.
because what we're gonna do is basically merge on a different computer, but they don't have access to her data. That's all.
Oh,
And then the driver license that she's gonna get it is just different. There's a lot of things I cannot say in the air, but
right.
there's security features in there where the police officer will be able to see and say, you know what, you're free to go. But
Okay.
she needs to be, honestly, she needs to be in good standing too as well when not because she have that driver license and that driver license has that security feature, she will be going and do whatever she wants.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
that driver license for you to travel to go in an airport and you pass that security check without any problem. You know what I'm saying?
All right. I'm gonna make sure I get to that, and then I'll get back with you privately.
No, no problem, Omar. Anytime, anytime. I'm doing what I was assigned to do by the divine. So yeah, I'm doing it.
Sure. We
You
all love.
contact me, I will help you out.
Yeah, we all love you for that, man. For real.
No problem. Appreciate. No, you gotta say that to 19 Keys, man. He's the one that
Oh
made
yeah,
this
he know
happen.
it from the top. He been knew that.
All right, look,
Yeah.
this all the most high, man. We just want to bring it to the people and get everybody through. But at the same time, I want to have a very focused group of people who like super serious about getting themselves together and getting results. Because the infinite wealth strategies, the motto is take that letter to Garcia, and that letter is execution. You understand me? And
Hmm.
we want to make sure that there are people that can move on to levels and levels and levels. And that can only happen if we have a focused group of people who serious, they dedicate, they get the information, and they execute. So be on the lookout for that. We're gonna be rolling out something in October. You understand me? That's gonna make sure that those who are dedicated to it, who really somebody mute yourself. Who really ready to invest yourself in this process? You understand me? That next level is coming for you. I have a lot of announcements coming. I'm just waiting to, finalize a couple of things, but it's gonna be powerful for the community because it's gonna allow us to get off that slave ship. I'm talking about, and get to some rulership. And only a few will be able to go because I know everybody go say yes, I want to be one of the ones, but not everybody go execute and put themselves towards that next level. And for those who you know For number one, how many people want to go through with the full process? How many people want to get their international driver license? How many people want to get their foreign trust? Press one in the comments so I can see some participation. How many people want to take ownership, you understand me, over the documents that they're bonded to and connected to? Those are the people that I really want to talk to. And I'm going to have a private session with, you understand me, and discuss how we can help you go through the full length process rather than, struggling to, execute one thing and then you get excited about another and you completely lose focus on what that other thing is. I know how it
I'm,
goes.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I had a conversation with somebody because people started and then they just lose the motivation
Yeah.
because they lose that side of a freedom. When you get this process to be going, it's not easy. It can be draining. I'm being honest to you. The passport, for instance, it's not just you just boom boom do that. No, there's paperwork you need to do. You need to send a revocation to the IRS. That's one step. Then you did your declaration. And then you have to compile all the process together, notarize it, write and notarize it. You don't have to write anymore because the writing is already done. Then you have to compile it. Then you have to schedule a date to go to court. You go to court, you go to the immigration officer, give all the paperwork. And then you have to have somebody. Now, why do you need an international driver license? Because that's going to be your ID that you're going to use to tell them, hey, I'm not a United States citizen. I'm foreigner. You need that. 19 keys. I'm sorry to cut you off, man. I'm sorry, but you made a good point right there.
He may pop back in.
He left.
Let's see if there's. I think he may have dropped. Yeah, it looks like he dropped. But another question is, would you have to change your name legally to get a foreign ID driver's license? That was the
No, keep it the
question.
same. I tell people keep the same because it's the same on your passport. And when you buy your ticket, when you go to the TSA people, they're gonna see your name. And they like to some TSA likes to hold your card and they go on your computer to look you up. So yeah, you can use that. And if you have a warrant, clean it out. It's important to clean it out, a warrant. If you don't know how to clean out a warrant, let me know. I'll help you. I'll give you some guidance to do so. Any other question?
One question is, I was born in Washington, D.C. Um, and the question is authenticating my birth certificate different from any other state since it's
No.
property of USA? I asked this earlier, but wasn't sure if I put a question behind it.
So he was born. He was born inside the federal corporation. So no, it's not. It's not different because the Secretary of State is right there on his nose. And now he don't need the certification for the sovereign state. He just need the certification for the Secretary of State of the United States.
So everyone, we are, going to be wrapping up around 9 o'clock tonight. So at the very latest. So please, if you have questions, if you're unsure, even if you're a new participant and you feel like you should know this. This is not something you should just know. It's all something that we're learning. So please feel free to pose your question. Another question, Marlon, that just popped up is
Yeah.
my driver's license is about to expire October 19th, 2021. I'm required to renew my identification to a real ID compliant driver's license. What is a real ID?
Is where they have all your information, which is going to be the national ID. They call national ID. So instead of you
Okay.
applying for that one, you apply for foreign drive license.
Okay, so right now that's all of the questions we have in the chat.
There's no more question?
Not at the moment.
Yeah.
So everyone come on in and pose your questions if you.
Any question? Any questions? We so we
Sue
can
has another question, which
go ahead,
is
Sue. Bring it on.
when I change my status, how do I also change children's? And then
Oh, you
Marlon is coming back and has another question. But Sue,
you
Sue's
can
question
Sue,
is,
you can as you change yours, you can do it for your kids too as well. So that way you do one process.
and let's add Marlon. I'm sorry, pardon me, Omar. Omar, are you there?
Yeah, yeah, I'm here. Y'all can hear me,
Okay,
right?
what's your question? Yes, we can.
Yeah. My only thing that I forgot to mention when I was talking to Marlon is that when you go apply in person, they you know how the DMV has the requirements to apply for the permit. You have to
Mm,
show certain documentation.
what's no? I don't know for your state. I don't know. I don't know for your
Mine's in
state.
North Carolina.
Did you need to call them and find out
Not yet. I seen like I listed all the things that that they require, and I'm only missing two of those things:
which one?
the Social Security and the proof of legal presence.
Damn.
Because they said that the proof of legal presence is a document issued by the government.
Can you apply for teen? Can you apply for teen?
I can try it and see what that's
If
about.
you
But I don't
apply
think
for
that.
teen, you can use the teen to be your social security number.
Okay. So, and what about the proof
Legal
of
presence.
yeah.
Legal presence. Uh, damn. The legal presence. Are you going for? Are you attending the school?
No, this person just graduated.
So you can go back to the same school that they graduate and ask for a letter to apply for a driving license. They're gonna give him a
Okay.
letter. That
Yeah, I
can
was
be the
thinking
legal.
about that too.
Yeah, that can be the legal presence. You go to school. That's what we F1 students know so much because the system is getting tight. So we used to going around and ask professors or get a job on campus, and that can be the letter that you can use for legal presence in the state. It's just an
Okay.
insight, like for
Okay.
international students or for foreign students, that's what they're supposed to do. Like you go on campus, apply for a job, you can get a social security number to the campus and get a letter to apply for driver's license. That's a good that now you're in good standing.
Okay. I appreciate you, man.
No problem, man. No problem.
No.
Any other question? All right, brother Morse. Cup of coffee. I'll be leaving because I have some meeting to attend. But I'll say this: if you go take your vaccination for COVID, you take it voluntarily, entirely voluntarily. But remember, once you take the vaccination, you are property of the United States because they have nanocells in there embedded in those injections that you cannot see on the naked eye. And once you go to the airport, they can see you have a vaccination. So think about it, how you're going to do it, how you're going to solve that out, you resolve that, and start changing, start getting into the concern to change your status from United States citizen into the United States of America national. Like I show in the document, you are admitted into the United States, but also you are admitted in the United States of America to the main jurisdiction. So think about it. I highly recommend you think about it. Think about it because you have inalienable rights. You have freedom, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. And when they say freedom, liberty, they mean it. You have the right to be secured on your person. The right to be secured on your person is reserved to you. So you shall be secure in your person, house, papers, and possession from all unreasonable search and seizure, and no warrant shall be issued to search any place or seize any person or things without prescribing the place to be searched or person to be seized without probable cause, because probable cause means the crime needs to happen. If you go take that injection, that vaccination is your responsibility. You doing it entirely voluntarily. Comply means doesn't mean law. Comply is a desire. If you want to comply with it, you do it. But if you don't feel like you want to comply with it, you don't want to work with them anymore, you are free to do whatever you want. Leave your job. But when you leave your job, you be ready to work twice as hard. So I'm not saying go and get yourself far, but I'm saying that be cautious on the decision that you want to take and the consequences that comes with it. Mainly taking the vaccination. You, Lamiko, any question?
No, right now there aren't. So, I mean, it looks like, the question stopped right at the time that we needed to end. So,
Yeah. Thank you so much, huh?
yeah, thank you so much again, Marlon. Thank you
Oh no,
all for
thank you.
joining
Thank you from
us.
uh-huh.
Thank you, 19 Keys, for popping in today. And we will convene next week. Have your
Okay.
questions ready for Marlon.
Okay.
All right. You all have a great evening.
Okay, bye-bye.